Welcome back to our weekly market wrap-up. Before we start, Tikona Capital wishes all our readers a very happy Diwali and a prosperous Happy New Year. May this festive season bring you joy, prosperity, and smart investment decisions that grow alongside your dreams. Here's to a year filled with growth both in life and in your portfolio. Indian equities extended their winning streak for the third straight week, driven by upbeat Q2 earnings and strong macro data. The rally was supported by renewed foreign fund inflows, positive global cues, and optimism around upcoming corporate results. Gains were seen in 3 of 5 sessions, while traders now shift focus to results from Reliance Industries, Bharti Airtel, HDFC Bank, and ICICI Bank in the coming week, so stay tuned, and by the end of this video, we will unpack the key drivers behind these movements and what lies ahead. For the week ended 17th October 2025, the Sensex surged 1,625.1 points, 1.9% to 83,752.1, and the Nifty 50 gained 482.5 points, 1.9% to 25,709.8. The BSE Midcap Index inched up 0.1%, while the Small Cap Index slipped 0.2%, reflecting some caution in broader markets. Markets began the week on a weak note amid US-China trade tensions, but sentiment quickly recovered on cooling inflation and earnings optimism. The latter half of the week saw strong buying interest, particularly in large-cap stocks, helping benchmarks touch new record highs. So stay tuned as we break down the key factors behind this turnaround and explore what could drive the markets in the coming week. Let's take a look at this week's key economic updates. India's retail inflation eased sharply to 1.54% in September from 2.07% in August, due to lower food prices, while wholesale inflation moderated to 0.13%. The trade deficit widened to an 11-month high of 32.15 billion, driven by higher imports. The IMF raised India's FY26 growth forecast to 6.6% from 6.4%. Citing strong Q1 momentum with GDP growth of 7.8%. On the trade front, exports to the US rose 13% YOY in H1 FY26. Globally, China's trade surplus narrowed to $90.45 billion as exports and imports both surged, signaling a revival in external demand. Among this week's top gainers, Whirlpool, plus 121.0%. Jumped on strong festive demand expectations and improving channel inventory, aided by high trading volumes signaling renewed investor confidence. Force Motors plunged 14.8%. Extended gains as optimism grew around commercial vehicle recovery and improving margins from its niche product portfolio. Ola Electric plunged 13.7%, rebounded after recent weakness, driven by upbeat delivery data and traction in premium EV models ahead of the festive season. On the downside, the top losers, Anant Raj, 11.1%, saw profit booking after a sharp 40% rally over recent weeks, as investors locked in gains. Elecon Engineering, at 10.3%, declined on weak near-term order flow and valuation-led correction after a strong run-up. Gujarat Mineral, 10.0%, fell on profit-taking and lower commodity sentiment, with muted near-term catalysts. In the unlisted space this week, momentum in the unlisted market remained upbeat this week, led by major IPO developments and strong operational updates from key players. Grow is preparing for a R7,000 crore IPO in early November 2025, marking a key moment for India's fintech space amid regulatory changes. NCDX announced plans to launch weather and carbon credit derivatives, aiming to become a multi-asset platform connecting agriculture and finance. Fractal.ai continued its growth momentum, backed by strong innovation, global expansion, and sustained investor interest. Unlisted companies where interest levels remain elevated include NSE, NCDEX, Tata Capital, Grow, Oyo Rooms, and FarmEasy. Get in touch for more. That wraps up this week's market highlights. Here's what to watch in the week ahead. Domestic equities enter the week with a mixed undertone as the Q2 FY26 results season gathers pace and key macro data takes center stage. The IT sector kicked off earnings with subdued discretionary spending, though select large players showed relative resilience. Several major companies are set to announce results this week, including Hindustan Unilever, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, SBI Life, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Laurus Labs, Colgate-Palmolive, and SBI Cards. Markets will remain shut on Tuesday, Diwali Lakshmi Pujan, and Wednesday, Bali Pratipada, with a special Muhurat trading session on Tuesday, October 21st. On the macro front, investors will track India's infrastructure output and flash PMI data, alongside crucial global updates, China's GDP and industrial output, South Korea's rate decision, and the US inflation and jobless claims data. That's all for today. Stay connected with Tikona Capital for more insights and wealth-building opportunities from the themes of the decade. Explore more on tikonacapital.smallcase.com to know more. Don't forget to like, comment and share. See you next week.